Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigvalogrim here, and the first Solo Raid event is almost over. So I thought that we might share some thoughts on it and talk about a few things about it. We'll talk about how difficult it was and if the difficulty is properly managed. We'll talk about the technical problems that we had with it. We'll talk about the fun factor of it, because at the end of the day it's a game and it needs to be fun. And we will talk about if the rewards are going to be good enough. So, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, dislike it if you dislike it, and let's get in with the first topic. First of all, talking about difficulty. Well, over here I am pleased with the difficulty, and at the same time I see some problems with it. First of all, they could have done a lower tier, to be honest. Like the first tier that we are going to fight, the normal tier, is going to be easy enough in a way that you can use your team endlessly, and that makes it accessible for beginners. So a beginner, even though he will most likely not be able to perform well in solo raids just straight when he starts the game, he only needs to get Inflant Sakomen from the League Store and make one decent team for him, and he can finish the normal difficulty by spamming that specific team. But at the end of the day, not all beginners are going to know by default. They are going to need to rush towards Inflant Sakomen, and not all beginners are going to have perfect gameplays. So because of that, I think there could have been a lower difficulty to start with, and then the normal being Heroic 1 difficulty. Next up, in terms of difficulty, the way that you should balance it is not like just decreasing and increasing the stats. There is a certain change of balance, like in normal difficulty you can use a team endlessly. That's also a way to balance the difficulty compared to Heroic 1, but also a thing they could do is remove some of the mechanics of the bosses for the normal difficulty. For example, not remove the whole thing that makes the bosses who they are, because you don't want to strip that away, because that's fun and the challenging gameplay. But you could do some tweaks here and there. For example, in terms of boss Green Lantern, you could remove the shield that he gets by using his special one. So if you do that, the fight will still be challenging, players will still die very easily if they don't know what they're doing, it will still be a little bit frustrating maybe to fight, but you will manage to deal damage to him. You'll manage to deal much more damage to him, so it takes less fights to defeat him. And from Heroic upwards, add that shield again. Same with Last Lap of the Joker. I mean, the prisoner thing and the gas that comes after the prisoner is going to be a pretty interesting interaction that requires crafty solutions to avoid. But what you could do for normal difficulty, if you want to tweak the difficulty a little bit, is removing the ability of Joker to stun you on tagging, and leaving all the other mechanics, and then at a higher difficulty reintroducing them. As far as I'm aware, those are going to be the two most annoying to finish fights in normal difficulty, and they're going to be the places where new players get stuck. In terms of my experience with solo raids, I really wanted to push myself and see how far I can go on a 4.5 months old account. And as far as I went is Heroic 4, almost finished Heroic 4, actually not almost, like Joker is higher than half HP, so yeah, I'm stuck in Heroic at both Joker, and that's where I'm going to stay. And I can tell that this was a pretty difficult experience to finish normal difficulty because of the unregistered gameplay that I kept getting back then, and a lot of the peeps needed to be unoptimal in order to need to avoid that. So if there was no unregistered gameplay, because that went on for 2 weeks, then I could have maybe gotten a true Heroic tier 5. But yeah, hopefully I'll do better in the next one. And that brings us into the next issue. Oh, and before we get to the technical problems, in terms of difficulty, I like the idea that it goes on almost endlessly, because it's always great that the game pushes the limits of the players. So yeah, it's difficulties at first that are manageable, and as you go further and further, they start to be more and more unmanageable. But the thing is, if it didn't get the time extension, it would have been in theory impossible for a player to finish the entire solo raids, even if he would have killed every single boss in one pip. But because they did that, there were some people using hacks that actually, I think, finished the entire solo raids with the entire difficulties. I've seen some profile pictures, but yeah, regardless of that, The difficulty is made up nicely. Always test the limit of your players, but at least make it in a way that is possible. Maybe you have the option to pick up where you left in the next soul rate. I am not surely aware of that, but all we can do is wait and see in terms of that. Now getting into the next point, the technical errors. Oh boy, was that annoying. Well, the most annoying thing, at least for me, was the unusual gameplay. I got that a lot, and for me it was caused by Aquaman super move, or Aquaman being the last one alive. Keon's Lance Aquaman is the one I'm actually referring to, that Aquaman, and other people had it straight away not able to play the soul rates, and it said the soul rate expired. And I can't really imagine how unhappy those people were and how frustrating thing it was. So those issues got kind of solved. For the most part, they got solved, but after 2 weeks, and they extended the duration by only 1 week. In one point, you extended it by only 1 week, though for some people you ruined it for 2 weeks. But on the other side of things, well, if you're going to do another one after this one, then I guess that's fine. They will just pick up from where they left on the next one, or start anew from the next one with the full duration. And yeah, those were the two technical problems that most people have experienced with this one: the unusual gameplay and the raid expired bug. Hopefully they all got fixed. As far as I'm aware, they got fixed until now, and hopefully when the soul raids come back, we will not have those issues. Now the next category will be the fun factor, and this is a weird one because soul raids are a very fun and very challenging game mode, but with some exceptions. First of all, it's not fun when you get unusual gameplay. It's not fun to play in a way that is trying to avoid getting unusual gameplay, and it's definitely not fun to not be able to play soul raids. But trying, even though I can't really get all of that out of my mind, because yeah, I'm scarred for life from those unusual gameplays. I used too many pips on that didn't register on Black Manta. I don't like that. But getting over it, or trying to get over it, soul raids are actually fun and challenging. They encourage you to use different teams, different strategies to beat different bosses. While this is very good, it's a little bit not so great for the players with a limited roster, even in normal, because you need some specific characters in order to have an easier time with specific fights. For example, the fight with Last Left the Joker boss. I was able to clear it without having Heartbreaker Harlequin, but if you have Heartbreaker Harlequin, you just stick her in your team and you will not get stunned because she counter stuns. And most of the older players do have Heartbreaker Harlequin, most of the new players don't have her. So yeah, you need some specific characters to have an easier time, but you can manage even without those characters, so I don't think that's a problem. And other than that, yes, a very, very fun mode. It's a mode where it's kind of a breath of fresh air, since in raids you compete with other people. In soul raids you compete just with yourself to improve yourself and to progress further, and you're able to gradually see your progress like you advance through the tiers. So in terms of fun factor, if we could remove the technical problems, the soul raids would be lots of fun, but we can't really get that out of the way. Now let's get into the rewards. So in terms of rewards, let's first just take a look at the gems alone. If you finish the normal difficulty, you will get 4,000 gems. The average player will get 1,000 gems a week from Champions Arena. So what does that mean? It means that he will get also 4,000 gems from CA a month. The average player will get 800 gems from Arena a week. So that means he will get 3,600 gems a month. So as we can see, if soul raids are going to from now last a month, and exactly that, then the rewards, if you finish the first tier of it, which is not that hard to achieve, it will take you some time. You'll need to have at least a 2 months old account or a 3 months old account to be able to easily do that, but after that you'll be able to manage it. But if you manage to do that, you'll get more rewards just in terms of gems than you would get from Arena and Champions Arena. And yes, those are only, this is only taking into consideration the gem rewards. But other than the gem rewards, you will also be getting characters ranging from 3 stars to 6 stars. And while there can be some very, very crappy characters, there can also be some very, very good characters like Just League Cyborg, like Entangling Poison Ivy, It's all about your luck. Some people even got legendary characters when they fought in the heroic mode. So yeah, it's all up to luck, but any character is better than no character, and even a chance to character so good is going to be amazing. It's literally never heard so far in Just Mobile to get a 6-star character and a 6-star good character, or get a legendary for free. So yeah, that's a very good thing. On top of that, you get artifacts after finishing every tier, you get reforges, you get some materials, some credits, and some materials for the Apocalypse artifacts, but that's not many, so we'll not really take that into consideration. You get the Father Box for completing the first Soul Raid tier, like the normal tier, and Father Box is very fun. So yeah, in my opinion, the rewards are great. So if this is going to be 1 month, I personally do not have absolutely any problem with gems not being higher than normal tier. Because of the fact that if you think about it, this is going to be the amount of gems that you get from Arena and Champions during a month. And if we put the amount of gem aside for each one of the modes, you are going to get far more from Soul Raids than you're going to get from the other modes. So I have no problem myself with rewards, and even if Heroic does not have gems, it still has pretty solid rewards. And at the end of the day, you are going to invest much less time in Soul Raids than in the other game modes. In Soul Raids, you'll need to do 6 fights a day. 3 every 12 excuse me, 3 every 12 hours. So in my opinion, that's not really a huge time investment, and you can easily do that, and the rewards compared to the time investment are going to be great. So yeah, this is my opinion in terms of Soul Raids. The fact that they might introduce a whole new Soul Raid with new bosses means that it's going to be kind of a constant update, like one update every month in order to change that Soul Raid event, and that means that the game is going to start to receive some love, and I'm all for that. This is a very nice and unexpected update, even if it had its issues, because it had a lot of issues, but now all of them seem to be fixed, not even mentioning the fact that they first put like 60 gems a day in the achievements, and then they changed it to 30 gems, even though the Soul Raids were bugged at that point. That was a very bad decision with a lot of backlash. But disregarding all of that, Soul Raids are a great mode, and are an even better mode if you think about them as a way for this game to receive some love from the developers. And I am all for the Soul Raids, and I can't wait what is there to come in terms of Soul Raids. So yeah, let me know down in the comments how far did you manage to get in this Soul Raid event. Let me know how far you think you'll get in the next one, or what you think will be in the next one. And like and subscribe if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, maybe hit that bell button, and I'll see you in the next one.